Okay. Hey guys, how you doing? I hate that when people come on social media and they go, "Hey guys." I never do that. I miss you guys this morning. I am actually out and I am trying to get my health together
Mm.
with this one who said
She got to exercise. It's time for her to exercise.
Michelle and Eddie would be very happy about that. But my pressure was crazy. My blood pressure was crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Carolyn is saying hi from Harlem. What's up, New York? How y'all doing in this pandemic? I know that it's crazy for all of us, but you guys are like a hot spot. I read that this morning that's the hot spot. I miss you, Priscilla. How you doing? I want you guys to click, tag, and share. We're going to be talking about something today. Alita Blandy is saying, hey, MJ, what's going on? We're going to be talking about some things today. Someone is saying hey to you.
Blessings to you.
Okay, someone say Apostle Fred and MJ, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's good? I need you guys to click, tag, and share because even though we're in the middle of working out, we're kind of gonna let you in. Why are you laughing every time?
I was just looking at you, baby. Go and do what you're doing.
No, but I'm saying, how come when I say work out, you start laughing? Because you know I can't stand it.
Nah, it ain't had nothing to do with working out.
Well, why you keep
I
looking
just
at me?
go keep it. Hey, y'all. She can't stand for me to
You
give her the
see-
attention she needs. Go ahead.
That's not true. Because no, when a man looks at a woman, he's looking for a reason. Hey, you see my cousin up down there. When a man looks at a woman a certain way, we want to know what's behind your thought process. That's why we like.
Listen, men, you don't always have to tell a woman what's behind the thought process. You can imagine and then let them just stay intrigued by what you're thinking.
And then that's what we just gonna bother you all day while you looking at me like that. What did you like? What I did? I booger my nose was. See, you're doing it again.
But does this look like you got a booger in your nose?
No, you were telling
What
me
you
that.
feeling? You feeling something, right?
No, I just.
Okay, baby, go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So, yo, Keisha, you need a new phone. Keisha always talking about her sound is acting up. So, we're going to talk to you about coupling. I think the reason why I'm going to do this, understand what I'm doing is anyone that's in a relationship. This girl can't spell. She said, "How are you both?" HOE. How? She forgot.
How?
She said,
How are you both?
How are you, bird?
I think she was typing fast.
Yeah,
she was typing
no,
fast.
She's still waking up.
Yeah.
But anyone that's in a relationship, I need you to just go ahead. And she did. She checked it. Harriet, I love you. I'm just kidding. I need anyone that's in a relationship to just give. Everybody's giving hearts, and I thank you for giving us that. Hey, Carrot, how you doing? How's Tim? But if you are in any type of relationship, if you are dating, if you're doing anything in a relationship, whether you want people to know or not, or if you've been in a relationship, just these little hearts right here. Can you do that? Can you symbolically just go ahead and give hearts? If you're in a relationship, were in a relationship, have done anything in a relationship, want to be in a relationship, okay, so this means that we're all on one accord. So everyone internationally, God bless you. And to those of you who are going to watch the replay. So since we are on one accord with understanding, there is something that Fred and I were discussing called coupling. People always have a problem on pastors dating.
Right.
He's a pastor and I'm a pastor, but people say, well, how in the world? One girl was very indignant. She says, well, how in the world do you consecrate with all that fineness, whatever?
Right.
Understand, I think sometimes when people see pastors dating, the first thing they see is sex. That's the first thing that they see. And I'm like, well, dang, we can't collect data like everybody else. Yeah, eventually, yeah, like it or not, there is going to be a marriage. But I want to talk to you about coupling. What did I say? Coupling means what?
Well, coupling is actually it's an industrial term,
Okay.
and it's when you take, outside the industrial term is interesting because it's when you take two powerful hoses and you put it together and you use what's called a couple, and one couple is the male end, one couple is the female end. You bring it together, but it's used because of the pressure that it has to hold to make something work.
Okay. So when people want something to eat, like whatever it is that you're eating, I say, just give me a couple of those. It also means two,
Right.
a few,
Yeah.
together. So it's the process of taking two things and eventually becoming one.
Yes.
And understand that pastors have a right to couple, just like She said,
But she
she said, money business. Unity Church, Charlotte is a piece of work, Monique. So understand what I decided to do is I decided to give them a glimpse
yeah,
of our world, just a glimpse, because there's a level of privacy that you have, or privacy, as they say in London, in dating. You have the privacy part, and those are the attributes that you use to rip the flesh to become one. That means that there's a level of your coupling that has to tear
that's right.
to mend itself to become one flesh.
That's right.
Those are the attributes that you use in privacy to yield yourself, yield your flesh, and to put things in perspective so that the two of you can eventually mess. Now, say what you said about coupling yesterday. You said, now this is where I got to speak to my single ladies and my single brothers. Sometimes people are too single to couple. Specifically women, I feel that they have dated themselves for so long until they're not ready to date anyone else. He said something that blew my mind, because everyone knows we divorce happens, like it or not. Wake up, it happens. It happens, and whether you like it or not, it happens. It happens to a lot of us. Happened to me. It just happens. But I want to say this. When you become divorced and you're out here again, or if you
Right.
become widowed and you're out here again, you have to remain, in a mindset that I'm no longer with an individual,
Yes.
which means that at some point in time, if you want to be in something again, you've got to detoxify your mind of singleness.
Yes.
The problem is that people don't understand coupling. Sometimes I feel women are so single until they don't have the mindset to couple. Do you agree?
Well, yesterday what was happening, I don't know a specific thing we was talking about, but she has been single a long time.
Right. And a lot
And
of people don't
so
know that.
Whatever we were talking about, it was to the moment of, okay, I know how you used to do it, but we're coupling.
Right. That's what you're saying.
We're learning to become one.
Right.
You have two strong individuals,
Right.
two strong-minded individuals, two strongly anointed individuals with two different mindsets.
Right.
So, like she said, it takes a while, because now you got to tear, you got to break. It's you got to go through some things. But yesterday, in specific, we were talking about something that she was used to doing by herself.
Right. Right. And so he looked at me and he said, "No, we're coupling." I was like, "Okay, I okay." It's like music trivia. I know this one. I know that. Ooh, I know that. I know this. And it wasn't that I did not know. I forgot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
And most people forget how to couple. This is something that blows my mind. When it's time
Or
for,
they can't trust to do it. But go ahead.
because of the past situation, they
Yes.
don't trust. Because in order to couple, you have to trust the process of letting someone lead or being led, or
In your world, just in your world.
right, because you created your own world. You
Yes.
created oneness. So if this is what blows my mind. When it's time to eat, he will not eat until I eat. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing? And he smiled and he was like, I'm waiting for you. I'm like, man, your food gonna get cold, or He was like, well, would you eat something with me? And I was like, oh, okay. And he smiled and he said, we're coupling.
Yes.
Coupling means that you've got to detoxify your mind of oneness, because your goal is to go towards a unit of oneness. Oneness in I'm independently single. Someone said single for 7 years. And so can you imagine the women who have been single for years?
Wow. Yeah.
So now you say, God, prepare me for a spouse. Prepare me. Lord, I want a husband. Lord, I want a wife.
That's good.
But you have already prepared yourself for oneness. You're too selfish to date.
That's right. Well, now the reason why I said it, if you've been single for 7 years, you got to realize you got all kind of walls up, you got all kind of bridges up, you got the troughs around your castle, you got gators in those troughs, you got all of this stuff built up, and you're saying, Lord, prepare me for a man, prepare me for a man. He said, I'm trying. But if you don't let yourself be vulnerable, and this is the thing about coupling, somebody has to be able to say that I'm willing to be vulnerable.
Wow.
If nobody is willing to say that I'm gonna allow myself, I'm gonna put myself out there to be vulnerable, then it's not gonna work. Especially because now you've been hurt, you done went through some stuff, and this terrible thing is still a soul tie. It's still in you. The pain is still there, and when that happens, this is where your prayers are hindered. It's not that God is not hearing you. He's saying, I'm hearing you, but you're not at a place for me to release this person into your life because you'll destroy him.
Okay, but okay. Is it safe to say that some people, vulnerability is what got the moats in the crocodiles?
That's fair.
That's fair to say. You're in that specific place because you were vulnerable. Watch this, to the wrong person.
Right.
That's the Achilles heel. We have been vulnerable to the wrong. I have been in my life vulnerable to the wrong people. And everyone, 2,000 people who's under the sound of my voice, it's trusting someone with the vulnerability that's a problem.
Yes.
That's in everything that you do. It's like, I remember we had a vulnerable moment and I said to you, you can trust me with this moment.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Right.
You could really trust me with this moment. And I said, thank you.
Right.
Thank you for allowing me this. I'm honored to see this vulnerable moment. Sometimes what people have done is they've taken those vulnerable moments and they've taken advantage of people in that state.
Yeah. But this is the thing about what we're doing is that I can see the strength in you. I can see why you're the person you are and why you handle relationships. So I took the responsibility to put myself, just like you, put myself out there, but allow those moments to happen. Now, it wasn't planned. I didn't plan it.
Right.
But you got to trust again. It's just like when we believe in God for something and it doesn't happen. You don't just start believing in God. You still are able to trust him, and you still got to be able to fall back and know that he's going to catch you. And this is a part of coupling. You got to, if you trust that this is a person, if you just dating them, you got to allow, and vulnerability is in stages. You don't have to do it all at one time. So it's stage one to stage whatever, but you got to start somewhere. But if you just try to remain this strong man or this strong woman that ain't gonna let nobody in, then you're gonna be by yourself a long time.
Right. But I think that's that's the conversation we had about the little girl.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that there are people inside of us. Now, I'm not talking about people who are bipolar. This is not your segment. I'm speaking about people, women specifically. Every woman desires to be a little girl. Every woman, and I say that, Fred, every woman desires to be a little girl because we just want to go, whew. But we have been strong for so long because the inadequacy of the people that we've been vulnerable with that cause us to be in positions we were not designed for.
Right.
So now we are grown women 24 hours, 365 days of the year. And especially if you attach yourself to someone that doesn't understand your worth, your value, taking advantage of your vulnerable moments, and you got to do every damn thing for.
That's right.
So it means that I got to be strong all the time. Yeah, I'm banging at breakfast. But when you find someone that says, wait, hold on now. I want to help you. Hold on now. That is a concern to me. Hold on now. No, let me take that. I need you to put that down. You begin to say, well, wait, hold on, looky. I could be a girl here.
Right.
And so you allow her to come out when you see that he doesn't mind holding the bag or cleaning up the mess that somebody else created. Because most men, real men, they ain't scared of that.
That's right. Well, this is the thing. I'll say something to you. I'll say something to you, ladies. And this is something that you can look for. The one thing from previous experiences taught me is that you can't be, and I'm talking about as a man of God, you can't just be priest, prophet, and protector. That works good for church, but you got to learn. A man has to learn to be intimate. So you have to be priest, prophet, and protector, and lover. So, and the lover part is not just sex. That's not it. You have to be able to be intimate and learn how to be intimate all the time, conversations and paying attention in every way. Just like she was talking about of sitting down to eat. That's an intimate moment, even if it's 30 minutes. But those are the things. This has to do with coupling and finding out the character of the person that you're hooking up with. Because again, there gonna become times where you got to be vulnerable. You know, you can't listen. Every man wants a strong woman, whether he says it or not.
Right.
The one thing that I did say, I said to Jamila, I said, I will run a weak woman over. That's why I could never be with a weak woman.
Right.
I have to have. So we know what we want, but even though you know what you want, you got to be able to be vulnerable enough to be able to be, so they can trust you also. Because at some point they're gonna want to be vulnerable. But if I can't see in you to allow myself, because again, coupling is an industrial term, and it's when you bring two pipes or two hoses together with 50,000 pounds of pressure of water, and it has to be really strong to hold that. That's the same way. That's the same thing with coupling. At some point, a tsunami is gonna come, a hurricane is gonna come, a coronas is gonna come. You know, and you have to have a relationship with somebody that can stand with you through those things. So this is a process, and again, yeah, we are pastors that are coupling, that are learning one another.
But then also, let's go back to something you said. Sometimes, let's be honest,
Okay.
some women don't want that. And there's some men that don't want that.
You're
You
right.
have to desire to want it together.
You're right.
That's the Achilles heel.
Yeah, some of y'all just want a booty call.
Right.
Just be honest.
No.
I'm
no,
just playing,
no,
I'm just
look,
playing.
no. Remember when you said, this is what he said. We got into a disagreement. Remember, I'm allowing you into my coupling process. You said, yeah, I'm gonna argue with you, but I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I didn't say that. And he could, I'm fight, but I ain't going nowhere. It's some people that ladies want to hear that.
Yeah.
Because perfect love casts out all fear. Sometimes we say we leaving so much until you can't even get the stability down because of the fear that you always gonna leave me.
Right. Yeah. You can't be vulnerable.
Right. And in the coupling stages, that's where you build a foundation, not just for oneness, but to guarantee I ain't going nowhere. How many of us have been in a situation, 2,400 people, where I can tell you going up to downtown now, her and Phil been together forever. Through good, through bad, through it all. It's people that I know. I remember one time I said to God, because my desire, you gotta have the desire to be a good wife.
That's right. Or the desire.
Or the desire to be a good husband.
To be a good husband.
So therefore, I've got to, during the coupling stages, there's a level of me that has to die.
Even before you get started.
Even before you get started.
That's
And
right.
so even in me saying, look, I'm out of here. I ain't got to deal with this mess. I don't know, you used to, what did you say? Take off your running shoes.
That's right.
I'm going to make you take them off. You stop lacing them off. He said, and then I think one time you said, go and keep them on. You keep them on for a period, but they coming off. Real men go take your running shoes off. And thank you for doing that. And it was a level of him that was stern with me. Because I'm used to running stuff. I'm not gonna front. That's why I couldn't date a weak individual because, ain't that Jezebel spirit? Here we go, the deep folks. That's the Jezebel spirit. Nah, truth be told, when you doing everything, every time a woman gotta pay a bill, she disrespects that man. Every time he lay on the couch and she going to work and he say, bring me something back. And you got, no, not at all. So you was like, wait, hold on. I'm not that guy.
That's right.
That's what you said. You was like, look, let me tell you something. I ain't that guy. You gonna take them running shoes off. No, you could put them on for a minute because we're still coupling, but you're gonna take them off. And you work to let me see, not that you could trust me in my vulnerable state, but I trust the words because of your actions.
That's right.
And in coupling, what happens is we ruin it in that season.
I think when you go through your first disagreement or argument, this is when somebody has to make a decision that I'm not gonna run.
Right.
This is when you have to make it, because you got to know how. You have to know how. If you want somebody strong, you got to know how to fight.
Right.
You got to know how to fight. You got to know how to disagree. And we're not talking about physical, but we got to know how to disagree, and we got to know how to come back.
Right.
I'm working on her right now on the comeback. She's
Right.
still taking some time.
And then he
I'm
times
trying to
it.
get her down. Yeah, I timed
He
her.
times it.
How
He
long
does.
you gonna stay mad?
Yeah.
First time she stayed mad about 6 hours. Second time about 2 and
You
a
cut
half.
it down, yeah.
I'm trying to get her down to like 30 minutes. Then I'm gonna get her down to like 5 minutes, because we gotta be able to click out of it quick, because time is of the essence, and we
Right.
don't waste time on anger.
Right.
Because I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Like, so whatever it is, it doesn't have to take up all of our space and our time, because it's important.
Right. But you know what you did that helped me? You said you was going too long.
Yeah.
We had a disagreement, and I was like, the Bible says, do not let the sun go down in your wrath. So I was still good, y'all. It wasn't the next day.
Yeah.
It wasn't the next day.
Yeah. It wasn't the next.
It
day.
wasn't the next day. So, what happened was I just didn't want to talk. I was like, nah, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn was
Bam!
Brooklyn was in the
All
house.
day it was like,
Brooklyn,
bam!
Brooklyn was in the
Nah,
house.
I'm good. And I was just like, and you was like, and then he came back. He said, no, I came to you and I was like, I'm sorry. And then you said you were going too long. And I was like, yo.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
Right.
You even when you go in anger, you leave out of one mindset and one character, and you enter into another one.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that I want to be with was gone too long, and that's why I told her, I was like, you were gone too long.
Right.
The one that I'm in love with.
Right.
You're gone too long.
Right. And so in the coupling, thank you, baby. In the coupling stages or the coupling phases, people lose one another.
Yeah.
You don't get to dum because you lose each other in the coupling stages. The coupling stages is the dating. It's gathering data to see if this person, 2,500 person, potentially fits, eventually fits into a lifetime. It's a temporary stages of learning a person and gathering data to see if they fit a lifetime. You see what I'm saying? Do you agree?
Yeah, it was somebody, I don't know, it was one of our lives that we did together, and they made a comment. They was like, you guys are in love right now. I hope it lasts.
Right, I remember that.
You saw it?
Through shade,
So I hope it lasts after. This is the thing about it. You have to stay away from those type of toxic thoughts. As a matter of fact, as people of God, we can prophesy into our future. Right? So no, it's gonna be better when we cross over. Our the way that we love is gonna be better. As a matter of fact, and I'm giving you my private prayers that our intimacy go to another level when we cross over, because it could happen. Like when you're dating somebody, the bells are ringing, the sky is open, Jesus is talking and all of that. But what happens when people cross over is that you haven't invested into the crossover.
Wow.
So when you I'm investing into it, I'm speaking into it, I'm putting a demand on myself and on the Spirit of God to maneuver me so that everybody want to preach everything but the Song of Solomon. But you need that lover, you need that person, and if I invest enough into that, I'll just bring her right into it. I'll bring her right into, and when as we cross over, we just become better together anyway. So now our intimacy is even at a greater level after the marriage than before. And people are like, how do y'all do that? And we're saying we don't particularly know, but we're working at it.
Right.
It's a process.
And then you know what too? I think people have to understand realness.
Yeah.
This is real. It's something that we could not put together ourselves.
No.
At all. It's like, this man was under my nose for like 10 years?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
And so it was the timing of God. And I said it before, God will put people together, especially when there is purpose. He put Mary and Joseph together for a purpose. He will divinely connect people for a purpose. And sometimes people get together because whatever reason being. I said this one time, Fred, I said, I do have the formula for marriage. I just have not discovered the eureka.
I heard you. I remember you said it.
Remember that?
Right.
And I finally found the eureka. The eureka is something that says, this is going to work. Because I needed someone patient with me. because I came from abuse. So when you grow up with somebody that used to see their mother kicked in the face, punched in the mouth, yo, you can't talk to me like you talk to, call me, what? Call me a bitch one more time and see what happened.
Right.
And so it was the realness that he allowed me to be myself. And he understood that, no, she came from domestic violence. There could be a problem if I come at her in a way that's familiar.
So this is what happened. So we was on the road, and we was supposed to make this turn. I don't know who was right, who was wrong, don't matter. But I was like, you finna miss a big turn. And she was like, you know, and I was like, what happened? You know, and she was like, you yelled at me. And I was like, I didn't yell at you. She's like, you did yell at me. And it was because it was something that reminded her of her past.
Yeah.
Now, listen, so when she did that, I took that very serious. We laughed through the moment.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm logging it. Like she's saying, I'm taking data. I'm making sure that nothing like that happens again, so that she doesn't get startled. Because we got a lot we got to work through. We got personality things, and she still keeps saying, I'm waiting on Fred. She waiting for me to blow or something. I don't know when that's going. You know, I don't know. I just told you, stay tuned or whatever. I don't know it, because I'm not finna blow like that. But still, this is the thing. You have to watch for these things that trigger one another. If something is a trigger, then you got to make sure that you don't hit that anymore.
You don't become that, yeah.
You got to make sure. And the thing about personality is you got to let the person be themselves. Don't try to change nobody at the beginning. This is the wrong thing to do, man.
Talk to the brother.
Don't make anyone try to change at the beginning of the doggone relationship. They don't know you to change nothing. Why should they change anything about themselves? If anything, what you're bringing to their world will allow the change to happen without you saying the word. So that's the one thing. She said, you want to change this? No, don't change nothing. You want to change? No, don't change nothing. Be yourself, because this is what I believe. I believe in time, God will galvanize us, and we will be exactly what he wants us to be, and we will communicate with one another, how we need to communicate with one another while building one another. I ain't got to tell you what to change. It'll just happen. It'll happen organically. And I think that too many people get together and you automatically trying to see a finished product, and you can't see the finished product at the beginning.
I think that's the gathering data, and people really just fall short of it. You know, I think sometimes we as women even too, and I just want you to really address the brothers. You know, sometimes, and I say this all the time, is so much in dating that causes us to just hit a brick wall. For women too, angry women hit a brick wall. What they do is they load up a round of anger, or they're present. Michelle, text Trina, tell her don't call me right now. They gather stuff from their present or their past or the situation, and they just go bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
And then he come and he like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't do it. I think a lot of times doing coupling, you cannot become you don't like the person, because the woman becomes so bitter and angry, and she load up around, and he ain't got nothing to do with that. And he come in and he says, no, wait a minute. Tyler Perry has something that he said on one of his movies. He says some men didn't come to break. Some men really come to restore.
Right.
Real men ain't afraid of the restoration process,
Right.
or being part of it.
That's right.
One of the things too that makes the coupling fun is laughter.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, why you let put
Go ahead, old baby.
you just as a huh? What's the song that Bishop called? What's the song?
What song, baby?
This old school trivia junk here is blowing my mind. But it's the laughter. How many people, even in marriage, are married to people they don't like?
That's serious.
That's serious. It's people right now married and single. And you talk about coupling. Oh,
Yeah.
The coupling was supposed to start before you guys said, I do.
Yeah.
What is it that I asked you to do? Write down for our future.
Goals.
Write down your goals. No, I'm not saying just write them down. Well, we have to implement that.
Yeah. Write them down and then work towards them. What's the goals for marriage? What do you want the marriage to be like? And it was something that I needed to hear, because this is the thing. We enter into marriages for different reasons, and like in my past, there was previous things. Sometimes you enter in because just you're a man.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Now, when God says start over, because this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with starting over. You take every moment and you use every moment to build something greater. You know what I'm saying? And those core values for your marriage, it's important because again, we allow God to come in and says, because it's gonna work this time, and those goals are gonna work this time. You know why? Because we made something.
Right,
We
right.
wrote the vision,
Make
and
it
we
plain
made it plain,
that it may
and
speak.
that we may run with it, and it shall speak.
Now, that's the thing as a man. Now, let's hear from a man's perspective. Why is it that men are afraid to really step up to the plate in dating or in marriage? What's the fear there that causes women to always feel like they have to lead or feel like that men, specifically even black men, are missing the mark at relationships?
Well, I think a lot of men are way more emotional than we put on. The difference between a man and a woman is we process differently. So we'll stockpile all of our anger. We'll stockpile of all of our hurt. And a lot of men that are like that, they still dealing with that previous relationship. They still dealing with what mama did. They're still dealing with these issues. And with the woman that they may even love them, they feel like they're giving up some type of power. And they are. They are. They feel like they're giving up some type of power if they agree to come into marriage or come into a strong relationship with somebody that could have that equal strength. But again, that goes back to being vulnerable. A man has to come to a point this is the thing. A man has to be more submissive than a woman. And men are not going to like that.
Say that again.
Men have to be more submissive than a woman, because submission in the Bible says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. It never tells the woman to love the man. And the reason why it doesn't do that is because the man has to have the strongest submission. That's how you keep your house together. That's how you keep your home together.
But
That's
black
how you make
men
business.
weren't taught that.
It's wrong because submission became a control, and it never was supposed to be that.
I think on both sides, like with women, as far as submission, they think that that's controlling, and men as well, especially in our community. Black men were told, yo, you better not cry, don't you punk up.
Right.
But I think even black
Exactly.
men have a problem. Some of them with servitude.
Yeah.
They don't want to serve their wives. And I said that one time, and somebody threw me under the bus. What kind of mess is that? There's nothing wrong with a man serving his wife. Like, no, you better relax, calm down. Let me fix the food. Hold on, calm down. Let me do that. If you implement those rules before you even get married, then you have a vision and a standard. Most marriages don't have a standard.
You're right. Most marriages don't have an example.
You just go through it like, okay, well, we just gonna figure it out.
Yeah. And a lot of times it fails because of that, and because somewhere you hit this road, or you hit this turn and it doesn't work. But in servitude or serving a woman, that's something that's a learned behavior. That's not something that you naturally do, especially if you haven't seen it. Most of us in our culture, we hadn't seen it.
Right.
So because we haven't seen it, we don't know how to do it. I hate to be a statistic, but I am. I grew up in a home without my father.
Right.
So, but everything what I wanted to do is be a better man for my children than my daddy ever was for me. I think I did that. But now I'm in this part of my life where now it's all about this woman. It's all about now this woman that's going to become my wife. And now I have to break different things, learn different things, so that I can be everything, not just supply, because men focus on being supply, and supply is just providing.
Okay.
Most of us, we just focus on being supply, providing, and we think when we get home it's over, and it's not. And that's why marriages start to fail, because the intimacy is gone. And now when I should come home and serve and continue serving, because supply is serving, but there's a continued serving that has to happen.
You know what happened? We were conversing. Y'all need to go on the Tag Your Friends, because we're gonna talk a little bit longer. You have time. You said, "I get it."
Yeah.
With that voice, you said, "I get it. I get it." And what he said was, it was something that I was, because remember, coupling is when you are gathering data. You're gathering data, and you said, I said, well, I don't like that. That doesn't make me feel great. And so you said, I get it. You don't have to tell me 50,000 times.
Yeah.
I get it. I believe that in the process of coupling, the woman can sometimes bash. She could be bashing stuff over and over and over again in his head, but he doesn't process.
Yes.
Men don't process
We
like
don't
women.
process men don't process as fast as women. We don't. They become women faster than us. They grow up faster than us. Actually, when I tell people, I tell people openly, I became a man at 27.
Wow.
I tell people that openly. The lifestyle that I live, I didn't become a man till, and you got to realize, becoming a man at 27 doesn't mean that you are a man. It's the becoming.
Wow.
I started learning how to be a man at 27 years
Wow.
old. So we don't process as fast. A woman, 16, 15,
Right.
especially if they got a head on their shoulders, they already know who they're going to be.
Got it.
So we don't process as fast, and you got to give us a chance to process. And if you're a strong woman, and I know if you're attracted to Jamila, a strong woman, a business owner, you don't really need a man, as per se. If you deal with somebody and they have that potential, you gotta allow them a chance to get to know you and process who you are in the way that they process. If you try to make us do it faster than we can do it, then it's gonna break and it's not gonna work. Every relationship is work. Coupling is work. The marriage is gonna be work, but the things that you gotta have in your mind while coupling, I'm not leaving, I'm not running. When you get to the marriage, there is no such word as divorce. The D word does not exist. So you got to have to be in your foundations as you're coming together. While I'm coupling, while I'm with somebody that has that potential, I'm going to become vulnerable. I'm going to allow myself to be vulnerable in stages. And I'm not going to run. Because the thing about it, the reason why you've been dating all these years is because not just because you ain't met the right person. And I've saw this, baby. Well, a person met the right person, but they didn't look like what the poster supposed to look like. And you missed it because they didn't look. I may look all right to her, but I'm pretty sure I don't look like the poster
You
of the
fine
man.
as hell.
There's a poster that everybody have in their head. Don't miss the wrong person because they made a mistake and they didn't hear something you said right. We men, we process slow. But this is the thing about a real man. Once we got it, and I'm a carpenter by trade. Once I got it, I can build a house with it.
That's what you said. You said because I'm a carpenter by trade, I can build it. And so I think some marriages fail because, people may have the skill set, but not having the right partner to help you pass the bricks will always weaken your foundation. And so the willingness now is that if you're building, I'm mixing the cement, and I'm a hitter. I was on a truck. Remember that?
Yep.
I got a headache the next day, but the hitter in me was like, let me climb up on this sucker. Is this the rig? Okay, well, tell me what to do and how. But one of the things that I enjoy about what you said, I said, thank you for allowing me to be myself. And he could be himself. When a woman feels that she could be herself and a man feels that he could be himself, it really becomes real. What we had, it's real. It is the craziest thing that you could go so long without having someone real. And so if I said, God, and I say this, now I'm not going to get to, I ain't no punk, Fred. You know, when I start saying that, you know what that means. I ain't no punk. I remember one day I was in the shower and I was crying. And I said, God, you said in your word, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all of its righteousness, and you'll add those things to you. Okay, I get that. Now, you've done that. But it's this one area in my life that's gray. I have yet to find the man of my dreams. I desire to take all the attributes that you have taught me about servicing, love, patience, and marriage and yield it at somebody's feet that will pick it up and run with the vision with me. I have not seen that. You said that you'll give me the desires of my heart. Where is it? I remember saying that, and I specifically prayed in order everything that I wanted in a spouse.
Crazy.
And it was like, he blew on it. and presented you. And God said, everything that you need, I have crafted in him. And so now when I look at things that are manifesting, because now I'm covered correctly, I'm excited about my future. And I think sometimes women do. We look at the poster. The poster, he's supposed to be this, and he's supposed to be that. He got to be, he got to be, he got to be that. But God said, well, what about what I want for you?
Yeah.
I know what's in your heart. I know the desire. You just looking at the outward exterior of a person.
Well, the thing,
I just happen to be lucky.
but the thing about it, baby, is the same way you prayed, I prayed the same way.
Right.
It was almost exact, but I wasn't in no shower. I was in my room,
Right.
and I said, Lord, these are my words. I say, Lord, I'm a pastor. I don't want to be out here dating. These are my words of God. I say, my reputation is important to me. I said, I don't want to be out here dating. I don't want my name all around the city. Apostle Gooden dating this one, Apostle Gooden dating that one, and the next thing you know, Apostle Gooden screwing this one, and Apostle Gooden screwing that one. And so I didn't want that. And I say, Lord, I don't desire that.
Yeah.
And I say, Lord, I say, present to me. These are my words. I say, present to me the woman that you have built for me.
Right.
And then I wrote down a list of about 7 things on that list. And I read those things off to God specifically about what I needed, because I knew I don't have time to waste, because we're in the gospel. When you're in the gospel, you ain't got time to waste, and you don't have time to waste with folk that you don't need to be with. So God did exactly what we asked. We asked God to say, Lord, who you have built for me. Now that doesn't mean that we don't have to work.
Yeah.
Now he gave us what we asked for. Our job is now to couple it.
Right. And that's what we're doing. We're coupling.
Yeah.
The coupling is just something that a woman just went up the timeline, and she said she has been single for 9 years. How does she couple? In order for you to couple first, you got to get you together. You do. I went to counseling, and I do know personally that there was a level of counseling. That number 7 is right. Tamika Jones is right. You wrote down 7 things, you said?
7 things.
You wrote down 7 things. And it's funny because you said it was 7 things, and when he said it,
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, 3,000 people at the sound of my voice. You said 7 things prophetically in this ministry. 7 is the prophetic number, and so you wrote 7 things down, and God manifested. Watch this, baby, completely. That's good. So completely, He manifested this thing. I do believe that God has someone for us all. I think that we are our own worst enemy when it comes down to certain things. I do believe that you can be married to the wrong person.
For the right reason.
For the right reason, or maybe for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
People do it all the time. You waste time when God says, I'm about to redeem the time. You don't like the process, how I'm going to do it. But what I've got to do, I've got to push the promise that I've given you from the foundation of the earth. Now, the process is going to be hard. So now in the tethering process, God says, I've got to let these things hurt your feelings again to save your life.
That's
so
right.
Here we are now. It's the whole tethering. It's putting things together for the purpose that God said from the foundation of the earth.
That's right.
I knew you guys were going to get together. And as we were walking, I said, people forget about the promises of God because sometimes they think God taking too long.
Yeah, but it's a process, because you got to realize He's processing you.
Yeah.
He's processing the other person. Like you said, we have her sister. I've been knowing for 10 years.
Yeah.
And we never came inside the same space.
Right.
We never was in the same room.
Right.
As many times as she's come to
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Right.
So we didn't see each other until
the timing of God.
God's time.
Yeah. The
until
timing
it
of
was
God.
God's time.
Yeah.
Because if we had saw one another before time, then it was us. We didn't manufacture this.
No.
Another thing is you got to allow God's timing. We didn't manufacture this. We didn't put this together. As a matter of fact, we were dating, getting to know one another before I saw her preaching. So I never saw Car Chronicles.
And you said
and this is very important, baby. Let me get this out. So I never saw Car Chronicles. I never saw her preach. And I told her, I said, man, if I had saw her
that's
preaching,
where I was going.
I was been like, nah.
That's
because
where I was going.
it looked like she was way too strong.
Wow.
for us to tether.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are way too strong for us to couple because and this is the reason why we can't judge from the outside.
You sure can.
But I met Jamila. It was Fred. Fred met Jamila.
Right.
Fred didn't meet Pastor MJ,
Yeah.
Apostle MJ. She didn't meet Apostle Fred Gooden. You know, she didn't meet. It was Fred that met Jamila.
Yep.
And this is the thing about pastors when you're dating. This is the thing. There is no perfect way for pastors to date because if you do it in secret,
Yeah.
then it's like you're hiding.
Yeah.
So we decided to openly. You know what happened?
Right.
People still gonna talk.
Whether you like it or not.
So there's no perfect way for pastors to date. You just gotta trust God. If it's God, trust the process and let that publicity that they're sending out there, let it build, baby, because it's gonna take you where you gotta go.
And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about our future. You know, and I'm honored to call you my Lord. I'm honored to call you my Lord, such as Sarah did Abraham. I think sometimes people got to understand it's the whole process, and it can work if two individuals desire it. If one individual does not want it, it will never work. And the two shall become one flesh. He did not say, and the one shall become one flesh.
Yeah. So at some point, Eve goes back into Adam.
Right. Oh God.
At some point,
3,100 people who was under the sound of my voice. Say that again.
At some point, Eve goes back into Adam.
Wow. Okay.
She becomes a part of his makeup, his build-up. And then when he speaks, she speaks.
And she doesn't go into him. She goes back into him because she came out of his rib.
Yeah.
Say what you said the other day when we were having a disagreement and you said you are who?
I said to her, we were having a disagreement, and I said, I'm Adam, and I'm flawed.
And I said, and I'm Eve, and I've messed some stuff up. And that was so profound because it's true. It's true. Say that again. You are?
I say I'm Adam, and I'm flawed. Not Jesus, because a lot of us want to be Jesus, and that's the problem.
Wow.
The problem is, we got so much word in us that we don't realize that he's the Redeemer, and we would never be perfect. We'll be perfected, but we'll never be perfect. And that's why I said I'm Adam, and I'm flawed.
And I'm Eve, and I messed things up. But the bottom line is, you still got to be tethered together as one.
Still got to be tethered together.
All right, we got to go. We got to get our workout on. 3,100 people under the sound of Fred, Apostle Fred, and Pastor Jamila's voice. We are honored to serve. We're letting you in our coupling just for a period of time.
Yeah.
I want you guys to understand that if you are single, if you are divorced, there is hope. You can love again. That's the thing that people seem to let their pain disqualify them for the purpose of marriage.
Yeah.
You can recover. You can date again. There is hope. Someone called me and she was a widow. She was an elderly. I got widows calling me. She was an elderly woman, beautiful woman. And she said to me, Pastor, do you really think that there is somebody for me at my age? Yes.
Yeah.
There is someone for you if you desire it. Do the work on you first and trust God. Just because the process may take a little bit long doesn't mean that he forgot. He will resonate and he will illuminate it so clear that this is the time. And we're going to pray. Fred, close us out in prayer so we can get to our workout.
Father, I pray right now for every single man and every single woman, God, up under the sound of our voices, God. I pray right now, first of all, show them the walls.
Thank you, Jesus.
Show them the walls. Show them the things that's in them that they need to begin to break down.
Yes, God.
Show them the places, God, where they've given up on you. Most of all, giving up on you and giving up their faith that relationships do work. We need you to move by your power and your spirit, God. You're reconstructing right now. You're restarting things now with everything that's going on. And even that person that may have missed out on that purpose, but but there's an open door. Bring those people back together, God. God, I pray right now for the second chance of that man and that woman to come back together again. In the name of Jesus, specifically you that are hearing us right now. The Lord is giving you, he's giving you an opportunity right now to go and pick up that phone. Don't let pride hold it. Lord, I thank thank you right now. We bless you right now. We glorify you right now for every word that we've spoken,
Thank you, Jesus.
that we've spoken, God, out of ourselves, the way that we're giving ourselves. And we ask you right now, God, let it manifest in their life.
Thank you, God.
We bless you, Lord, and we thank you in
Thank you.
Jesus'
In
name.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. All right, y'all. We got to go. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Pray for me on this workout.